Hello, welcome back. I'm out in the shop and I have another grinder. It's a Chicago electric chainsaw sharpener that I need to learn how to use. Let's do that. I'm Glenn Nowakowski and you're watching Glenn Now on YouTube. I've actually had this thing for at least 5 years. I just never used it. I was at Harbor Freight buying something and it was on sale. I like grinders and it's like, I'm gonna get it. Well, this past Christmas, I got a chainsaw. It being winter, I'm cutting up a lot of firewood. I need to learn how to use this. And I just thought, first of all, we need to get it out of the box. Okay, the first thing I noticed is this here. It adjusts different angles. That has to hang off the table. I need to make a board to mount this on where I can clamp it onto the table. One of the other things I've noticed, and I actually looked at or watched some of the YouTube videos on this grinder. One of the things they say is this grinder, this moves around. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to fix that so it's a lot more sturdy, so it actually works. And I'm going to cut a piece of wood and mount it on there so it can be clamped onto the table. I'm going to do that now. Just need to sand it a little bit and I think that'll be good. Let's drill those through. Okay, I'm finished with the little mount that I made to hold the grinder so it's hanging off the table. It's clamped to the table here. Here, take a look. It's simple enough to put a C-clamp on here. There was a few other things that I had to take care of. This. Well, let's start with, this is where the chain sits. It's like a little saddle. And this part here is like a stop. It stops the chain in the same precise spot. This is an adjustment for that. Well, this whole thing, it wobbled all over the place. This wobbled. I simply had to put a washer on here. Now this part that pivots up and back, there's a spacer down in here that was about 50 thousandths bigger than the arm, which allowed it to wobble up and back. I simply took the spacer, and it's like a bushing, and I trimmed it down to where there's only 5 thousandths clearance and put it back together. Now it seems to be a little more rigid. I'm going to put the wheel on, put the guard back on, put the saddle on there, and then we'll start adjusting it so that we could do some grinding. That's what I want to do. Let's do that. It's simple enough to put this wheel on there. Simply place it on there, and there's this nut. Just screws on, and you just tighten it up. Now all I just have to do is screw those on. Simply slip it through there. Here, you'll see there's different angles. Goes from 0, which is straight, 35 degrees either way. The chain that I'm going to attempt to sharpen is 30 degrees. And you would simply just put it on 30 degrees and lock it up. I have this whole thing set up. I ground one tooth, cutter, whatever you want to call it. And I think I'm going to show you some close-ups of exactly what I did. Let's do that. Okay. Here's the saddle. This is my stop right here, the precision stop. This is the adjustment for it right there. This is a vice lock right there. And you see how that stop is right up against the tooth. By loosening the vise, I could drag it to the next. Go every other tooth. Bring it back up against it. Lock the vise. And it's ready to go. There's one other lock that you have to worry about, and that is the depth of how far this is going to go into the chain. And that is back here. By adjusting that up and down, there's a screw right here. By adjusting that up and down, it will allow it to either go deeper into the chain or less. Let's sharpen one of those. That's what I want to do. It's up against the stop. Lock the vise. This might be loud, so I'm not going to do much talking. You'll probably like that. And I'm going to sharpen that tooth. You simply go all the way around until you're finished and you get back to the first one. And they tell you to mark the first one with a marker so you know you went all the way around. I think it's pretty obvious. And then when you get to the next one, you have to change the angle over to 30 degrees. Okay, it works, and that's all I really cared about. All right. Well, that's my new grinder. It works. It's not the best, but it's a Harbor Freight, and it was like $29 when I bought it. If I sharpen my saw 2-3 times, that's the cost of having the chain sharpened at some shop. It'll pay for itself. If it lasts this season, I think it'll be great. Okay, so I think this video is going to be a wrap. And until next time, enjoy.